Anyway, kwenye studio, ladies and gentlemen, as I told you, we have a gentleman that I have so much respect for because he's really talented, and you can see the consistency from the time I knew him mpaka saizi. Like every single day there is something anafanya kwa mtandao yake. Si wale wasenye unaona tio one time maybe amengoja opportunity and then that is when maybe you know anajishashashasha and then
amekuwa consistent.
Na mostly I think I don't know, yendi atatuambia anataka tuambie where does he operate from. But now, to start us off, Mr. Willie Oeba. Who is Willie Oeba?
Hey, nice. Willie Oeba is an urban spoken word artist. All I do is express myself, then people call that poetry. But I do spoken word, I do rap, and I am a proud Nax vegan. I come from
Nax vegan.
032. Kabisa.
032, speaking of which, happened your governor ni nani pale?
Huyu hata sitajwe. Nikihika. Aliniambia I write sweet emotional poems. Lakini tunakuja. Tunasema Nakuru hakuna maji kwa mfereji, but Masayakura wako busy kutap talent. Walituahidi stadiums, lakini kwa grounds vitu ni different. Na huko wanachuna pesa na Samburu, lakini Mungu anasaidia.
A good one. So bro, uko na wase una mentor cause like your poetry is really deep.
I have an initiative inaitwa Easy Academy. So Easy Academy, we work with other talented artists because Tupac alisema the idea is not to change the world but to spark the mind that will change the world, because true leadership is in delegation. So even as you do, unafaa focus also on mentoring other people, the new generations, so that you can pass over the baton. One thing in pia industry yetu na spoken word for a long time imekuwa more of a scene, less of an industry that is financially autonomous, because hakuna culture ya pass the baton, to mentor other people, so that like we have, because when someone akiacha kufanya spoken word, then it goes with all
like
the
for
knowledge,
example,
all the works. So
comes after,
with Easy Academy, tuko na other artists that I mentor. One of them anaitwa Brian Silways. And pia we do with them like civic education, workshops and events, because also mi hufanya spoken word for social change. Natumia spoken word to amplify and widening the civic space. So most of the time it might be too hot for civic, even non-governmental organization, sometimes government, and most certainly corporates. So also pia could devise a means whereby could train other artists how wanaweza kuwa financially autonomous, because tunasema whoever feeds you controls you. So waweze could create their own community whereby they can print their own merchandise, they can stream their own music, they can put on their own shows. So Easy Academy comes from lyricism. So we have your program, your masterclass.
Nice. And I think, speaking of which, so when can you really say you started? Like time enye unasema, this is when I started officially, and why?
So I started spoken word in class 4. Shout out to Madam Latoya. Nilikuwa nafanya.
Shule ni gani?
Shule ni Bondeni Primary School. Nilisomea Matopeni. So Bondeni Primary School
in Nakuru. Ile ya kubeba jembe?
Hiyo ni mbaya. Kufieka ni sisi ndo ukiongea Kiswahili unapewa disc. Unafieka kufieka. And
unasikia monto makulki.
Monto. When
Monto.
Cool kid.
Pembe ina
bro. So yetu ilikuwa pale chini ya blackboard ilikuwa imeandikwa sponsored by certain supermarkets. Sasa sema hapa juu ya sponsorship. Lakini kila kitu ilikuwa sponsored, mpaka hiyo blackboard, kila kitu. So
alafu kama ni supermarket ilianguka unaweza hitaji.
Hapana, achana. So I used to do pieces za zile za music festivals. Naenda nazo nationals. There's one I did, nilikuja number 1, nikaperformia Kibaki. Ilikuwa inaitwa My Mother's Baby. But when I went to high school, nikaanza kuandika because there's no one to write for us in high school. Ilikuwa into class 10, 12J. And then I started writing spoken word and rap in high school. Bado mpaka nationals. But 2014, professionally nikiwa Moi University main campus tukiwa kule na kina Okelo Max.
They're now defunct.
Yeah. Bado iko.
Bado iko.
The first
wanauza hadi madogi.
Wewe. You need the first fully fledged university.
Okay.
First fully fledged university.
That's interesting. Nyi hamna first fully.
So hiyo ndio ilianza kama the first fully fledged university and so we started spoken word there.
Okay.
Watu walikuwa wanalipa 50 bob kuingia. Hiyo ndio unasikianga ukibamba sana unaweza toka nje ulipe tena. Ilikuanga 50 bob couples. Alafu 30 bob singles.
So inakuforce utafute dem.
Asi dem peke yake unaweza kuja hata watu wawili. Mkikuja machali wawili bado mnaingia
tu. Unaweza kuja mara mbili.
As an event organizer you can imagine hiyo ni kusaidia kuleta number.
Kuleta numbers exactly. Because kampo hata chips ikiongezeka na 10 bob hiyo ni strike.
Hiyo ni kuinama hiyo.
And then nikapiga but 2017 nilikuwa near death experience. 21st January 2017 ilikuwa birthday ya mother. When I was going into town I was almost shot for mistaken identity because I have dreadlocks and baby locks is the ugliest face of dreadlocks. So wanasemanga when a gun is put on your head your whole life flashes in front of your eyes. If they don't kill you yet then you live as one who has nothing to lose. So from that point I started now doing tailoring my spoken word on social change and I did a piece in it with Dear Mr. President. And then I did another one in it with Dear Mr. Deputy President. Kasongo was the Deputy President then. I was arrested for that. And then tukafanya Wajinga Nyinyi after King Kaka aka-release Wajinga Nyinyi. We did another one is on his YouTube channel. And then 2017 now I started now fully doing poetry for social change. Because if I don't write, then what happens to people who cannot hold a pen? And then now, from 2017 up to now, because poetry mekuwa like a secret society. People have to be there when it happens. There was no culture ya kurecord poetry, ya kufanya poetry collaborations. So now ni expand your scope because word has power. It's very powerful. When you, even watu husema audience, wengi ya spoken word artists wanakuanga poets because when you perform, someone else gets inspired to also write. But so many people were not indulging with it. They did not understand nikisema hata uandike Nairobi in small letters bado ni capital. Wanashinda huyu anasema nini ati utambiaje dem ameshika bola akiwa high school education is the key na ameshajifungua. Wanashangaa huyu anasema.
So for example kama hii knowledge yote nikitaka kupata tuseme kama a piece you did like now kama hii leo naweza ipata mahali na nilipia hata unajua.
Yes, now sasa hii tume diversify ku franchise the spoken word because initially it was just art deemed for performance. So imeanza ku stream on DSPs. And in 2019 one of the best achievements we made spoken word in our show in Nakuru walikuja ku scout we petitioned for the drama and music festivals in Kenya. So drama festivals wakakuja ku scout and now spoken word imekuwa inducted into the drama festivals.
Nice.
So watu wakiwa from high school, kitambo ilikuwa tu poetry. So from high school and primary and campus wanafanya spoken word kama a class of its own kwa drama festivals.
Wow,
now
really
poets wanaenda kutrain mashule na students wanakuwa cultured from like kitambo how to indulge. And also one of the aspects ya hiyo spoken word ina tackle vitu kama corruption, gender mainstreaming, extrajudicial killings. Ndio unaona sasa hivi tuko na majenzi because wamelearn hizo vitu kutoka high school.
Nice. I think it gives you that flow ya vitu. Like if you look at poetry or spoken word and how it talks to people, mostly we say is it what is kio cha jamii nimalizie? Fasihi ni kio cha jamii. And the spoken word is part of it. And now you can look at even the set books, how these kids wamezi understand. Like I'm saying this because that's what has been quoted mostly kwa social media just before the protests.
Batu wako wapi watu? Sioni watu. Minga miwili. Kweli. Kasongo ama ni Bonoko? Mungu anasaidia.
So if you look at the happenings za huku nje, maandamano and everything. And I've seen you've been so vocal about your stand on social justice and what's been happening Do you think we are yielding results? Do you think we are getting there? Are we there yet? Ama we'll never get there from what's been happening so far.
Great.
Why am I asking this? Because we were protesting against police brutality. And from what happened Juzi, again, we lost over 16 so far, and still counting maybe.
Yeah.
So do you think tunaelekea the right place?
Yeah, one, we are not where we want to be, but we have to respect that we are not where we used to be. We've made progress, albeit small. Sometimes we can focus so much on where we want to go and forget how far we've come. There's a piece I'm writing, na ni kama biography yangu, because I'm working on an album inaitwa I Am My Mother's Legacy. Nasema na wenye wananiambia naenda mbali hawajui penye nimetoka. So tumetoka mbali as a country, and that people came out, the young people came out, because so many bills was zinapita hata kwa parliament. Hata last week kuna ingine ilipita, ingine wana vote for next week because before end recess, so many bills. But took a single out one bill and people translated it, because the young people had been depoliticized and made to believe that politics is a reserve for certain people.
Yeah.
But now people are indulging in politics and in governance. So to may yield so much results. Right now, the people have realized we'll only have a new generation of leaders when we have a new generation of voters and active citizens. Nothing goes unnoticed right now. About the police, we have a rogue system from the executive, judiciary. We have a very bad system.
In almost every department.
Every department.
Yeah.
So hata niliona kwa cases wakisingle out, IPOA ikisema ati rogue policeman shot, no. See, rogue policeman, the whole service is very rogue. Because wanafunzwa mwananchi ni enemy. And nimeona hata online, because there's a lady police who was getting beaten. Na the public alikuwa napigwa na public
juzi
kwa maandamano. Alafu the guys mwenye aliprotect tena akapigwa bana na polisi. Alafu watu wakasema tuliwaambia polisi si rafiki. You know, so we need an overhaul of the system. We need a revolution of the mindset. The leaders need to understand they have been given the mandate by the people, and the people's will reigns supreme. Unanipata? So to make progress, to make steps. But tunaendelea kuenda. I'm very hopeful, because when we started, hata nikifanya dear Mr. Deputy President, people were telling me, wachana kuchanganisha art, stop politicizing art. But right now, people are appreciating online. Kila mtu anasema, umekuwa ukisema ukweli. So I love it, because we are standing on the shoulders of giants, because kuna wenye walikuja before sisi kina Eric Wanaina, na sisi tunaichukulia hapo tukiendelea. So tutafika. Tutafika.
Kuna hii issue ya guns. Unajua kitu inakatia sana ni the fact that you come up with a very peaceful protest. Na mnakam kwa peaceful. Alafu wase wanakam and it's like they take all the credit that you know. You come with
dilute your success.
So how tutawezaje ku counter youth to youth? Unaget? Juu sasa unajua either way wanabaiwa, unaona? But now how do we get to Joani watu tunakutana nao mtaa? But nyinyi mkienda protest yeye anaenda kuchukua Rwambi. Unaona? So hiyo kitu tutafikaje tu nego kama ma youth yani?
First of all, guns ni creation ya gava. Ni creation ya wamepoliticize the demonstrations. They don't want it to happen. So wanafanya guns will infiltrate the protest so that we justify the force meted on like innocent, peaceful and innocent protesters. And I saw the EU will make a statement about the freedom of protest and demonstration.
That was before.
And still government have aware to slide in guns ndio waseme kila police. And I saw a very shameless day before yesterday the CS akichestamp akisema kama kuna polisi alishoot mtu mimi nitakuprotect. But protesters were very peaceful. Because I was in the streets, in some instance, ukitry kuvunja duka kama protesters wako hapo, they restrain you from doing that.
Yeah, that's true.
And even goons wengine walikuwa wanaiba simu, unapata wanabembelezwa kidogo, wanasalimiwa, protesters wanasema tumwacheni sasa, tumwache, you know,
machapo.
So the protesters are very peaceful, peaceful. Goons ndio wana infiltrate. And if we had a scenario whereby the police and the government protects the freedom ya kudemonstrate na expression, polisi wachunge mali, wachunge maduka, waangalie mali ya watu isibiwe. So polisi wanapea goons very easy time because they are terrorizing peaceful protesters, and then the goons wanna break in. Na if you noticed, at around Quickmart, because I was around that area that day, around the same time moto ilikuwa inawaka hapo, the police were doing nothing. Walikaa hapo wakangoja everything imeisha ndio wakakuja, but wana chase protesters the other side. So I believe hiyo story ya goon haitaisha kwa sababu it's a deliberate action ya government, because they are rattled with the demonstrations, and now they are tribalizing the demonstrations, they are politicizing the demonstrations. Nimeona the former deputy president earlier on wakisema alikuwa kwa hapa kwa show earlier on, na wase wanasema ni deputy president amelipa watu. No, vitu zenye zinapeleka vijana kwa street ni beyond politics. Kuna unemployment, kuna youth bulge, kuna overtaxation, kuna extrajudicial killings, and we are demonstrating around extrajudicial killings, and then the police wanna shoot Boniface close range, so it doesn't make sense. And until easy vitu to change, people will be on the streets. And I have been to all demonstrations since June 2024, because and sijaiona demonstrations kama hii. Bro, hata mabadi wanasikia tu zikilipukia hapa tu pum. Na watoki wanazunguka. Watu washa normalize. Wanasema tuende bro, tuende. Bro, hata watu wadogo. So the government should be very they should be very afraid. If things do not change, these people will not come off the streets, and it will be very bad.
Okay. I think, thank you for such a powerful message. And as we sign out, what's that message you have for any young person starting out? Na anakuangalia wewe kama Willie Oeba, anasema I want to be like that artist because of how, you know, you've done your thing to where you are right now, bidii umeweka. Kenya unatembea tu. Kiusanii wewe pia ni kasongo, unashindanga majuu zaidi.
Kuona kwa mabasi huko.
Exactly.
Uko on tour bro.
Unajua hiyo iko inspire, kuna mtu inspire somewhere because it's not easy. So what message do you have for them, especially umesema hadi drama festival, or may have to incorporate your style, wewe pamoja na wenzako who are doing the same thing, what message do you have for them?
Kwanza wa Kenya wenye wako Amsterdam, I have a show 26th of July, and then Indonesia from 28th of July itakuwa huko pia. And I'm having an album inaitwa My Mother's Legacy, itakuwa 12th December, Kenya National Theatre. I did Poetic Justice, the Hague edition, it was totally sold out. And we will get there. Uko nje pia wana celebrate poetry because kuna structures. They just put a poster, you put a video promo, kwa website unakaa tu na tickets zinaenda. And I believe Kenya we are getting there. So to all poets out there, what I can say, consistency is the only thing failure cannot keep up with. Just do what you can with what you have, and you will get there. Just be consistent, because consistency is the only thing failure cannot keep up with.
Perfect. You have to explain here DJE.
Na bro, by the way, kama ukweli manze 10 over 10 man. Keep doing what you're doing.
Asante sana.
So last word for your fans wale wa Nakuru, Amsterdam.
Na shout out to my mom. My mom is my biggest fan. Imagine ako hapo anacheki mpaka sahi. She watches like we watch videos zangu on loop. She was we did alifanywa knee replacement surgery, so she has been bedridden for 2 years. So partly partly why I do what I do, because uka hapo ujatoa ingine sasa ataboeka. Sasa inabidi na chat natoa, and then thank you for everyone who has been supporting. Hata nikifanya
tutamuombea, I'll kneel on a behalf because I know kama ni knee surgery hizi piga magoti.
Kabisa.
So I'll do it for.
Umeshakuwa poe.
Unaona.
And people have been really supportive. Now this is my 11th year as a spoken word artist. Hata nikienda civic education, sijaiweka till number nikaambia wase too many watu utafuta tu namba imagine wanatuma wanasema kunywa maji and we had the poetic justice last year it was totally sold out. Mungu endelea kutu expand tukue kama mkisini mkisi like thank you so much.
Sijaielewa haujaingia kwa matatu usikie mtu ameclick
wacha mtu kuklik dereva
pasta na wametoa kwa mboko
unaingia kwa busy yake
challenges ziko kuna time hata tumeingia tukienda kutembea mahali fulani amazing inaitwa Kawangware ilikuwa kama 11 pm dereva akasimamisha gari akasema bro wewe unapigia watu kelele na wamechoka wakasema hao watu wamechoka na wewe unawapigia kelele bro shuka wakamwambia dereva akamwambia wewe ndio utashuka na Zakayo wewe shuka sisi tutaendesha so nice, people have been emancipated and hata unaona kwa grao because you don't know ukiingia kwa matatu you don't know what to expect because the audience have not paid for it so they don't expect it and it's very hard to entertain an audience yenye haijalipia so because they have nothing to lose but your message wanna resonate nayo sana perfect. So thank you so much to everyone who has been supporting to everyone who has been tweeting retweeting and praying. We will get there. Our best days are ahead and not behind. I always say my idea why I do what I do by the way because spoken word haija chukuliwa vile ningetaka ichukuliwe.
Wewe unamaliza tukienda break.
Yeah. So my idea is to change how people feel about the art of words. Poetry before tuiachilia itakuwa industry bro.
Perfect. Wazi kabisa.
Amen.
And that's it.